Hi everyone, how's it going and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who haven't met me yet, hi, my name is Kat. I do a lot of lifestyle and travel vlogging and theatre content here on YouTube, including tips, reviews and reactions. And if that's something that you like, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell so that you can see more videos coming your way. Today is finally the day that I get to see West Side Story. I have been waiting for this day since they announced that Steven Spielberg was making a new film adaptation of West Side Story. If you guys haven't seen them yet, I've done a ton of reactions to West Side Story content, which include the teaser trailer, the official trailer, songs from the original motion picture soundtrack. If you guys want to check those out, I'll link them in the description box below and I'll also link them up here in the corner. But I am so happy that today I get to go see this film. I'm so excited to see what kind of masterpiece Steven Spielberg has created, and I can't wait to see all of the artists do their best work in this film. I'm so freaking excited, so let's get going.
I think I go back to someone.
I know what else you can get on.
Everyone there will give big cheer.
Everyone there will have more here. Forget that boy and find another. One of your own kind. Stick to your own kind.
Hi everyone, so it's been a couple of days since I've seen the movie. I was able to get my head around everything that happened and what I actually saw on screen, and I finally can give like my quick thoughts and review on this film. Very quickly, before I go into any of this, I do want to say that if you haven't seen the film, this contains spoilers, so go watch the film and then come back and watch this review. Second of all, there will be some triggering subjects, including assault and racism. If you are not comfortable with listening to those topics in regards to this film and at all, then I would suggest maybe not watching this review. Steven Spielberg directed this amazingly. It was one of the best movie musicals I've seen in terms of how it was shot and how it was filmed, and the different angles that were used, the different close-ups, the different long shots. I think it was just all brilliant. It was so clever to show how much New York City was changing at that time, because in the original film it was very much like this picture perfect New York City, like this is where we live. In reality, it was a changing city and it's still changing to this day. It's an ever-changing city, so to bring that in I think was amazing. amazing because it gave it more realism. The choreography was just brilliant. It was an absolute standout. The choreography for The Gym and America were absolute standouts. I absolutely loved those numbers. The choreography is absolutely one of the reasons why you must see this film. The singing was also top notch. Like, everybody's voices were on point. For me personally, I don't think that there was a voice that didn't match up to the standards that the film had. Everybody was on the same point and on par. I loved that every single Latin character had somebody who was of Latin heritage in that role. Rachel Zegler has Colombian heritage, David Alvarez is Cuban, Ariana DeBose identifies as an Afro-Latina. All of the sharks had, majority of them were Puerto Ricans, and if they weren't Puerto Ricans, they had Latin heritage, which made it absolutely more realistic and more true to the story. As we know, a lot of the casting of the sharks in the original film were not of Latin heritage, which unfortunately brings down the original film for me, but to see the true casting this way that Steven Spielberg has done, I absolutely love it. And I think it also brought through the themes of the racism and the fights and the tension between the two groups. I think it brought it forward even more. It had you even more on the edge of your seat watching the film. Rachel Zegler was absolute perfection as Maria. She was just gorgeous. Her voice was beautiful. Her accent work, I personally loved it, and it was just a brilliant performance. She played the naivety of a young girl really well, but she also knew the realism of what was happening. So for her to go through as this young girl but having this realism of she knows that there's conflict that she's creating, I love that they gave that to her. I know a lot of people don't want to mention Ansel Elgort in the role of Tony. I just want to say that I want to separate him, the person, to the performance that's on the film, and the performance that was given on the film, I personally enjoyed it despite everything that's happening in reality. Ariana DeBose as Anita, oh my gosh, she was just brilliant. She was an absolute standout, as well as Rachel Zegler. Her dancing, singing and acting, all three were on point. She is a pure triple threat. She is such triple threat in this industry. If she doesn't go flying somewhere and getting more leading roles on Broadway and in films, I'm gonna be so surprised, because she just blew this role out of the water. If you just look at her for her choreography in America, the way she dances, and also in The Gym, is just mind-blowing. She's just such an epic dancer, and I loved her in this role. David Alvarez as Bernardo, he was brilliant. He was so good. You could really tell that the stakes were high for him as a character, and having to make his way in this world, in this new country, while trying to protect his family, and he played it so beautifully, and it was so well done. Mike Feist as Riff was brilliant. Oh my gosh, that man played Riff so well. He really embodied this character so well, and you could tell that everything for him and the way we were reacting was a defense mechanism because of how much he was losing in his life, and everything that he had known was being lost, and his only way of protecting himself was keeping the Jets alive, and it was just so well done. You saw the front that he put up, and you also saw the vulnerability underneath. He gave Riff so many more layers and depth to him than I have seen in his character before, so he was absolutely brilliant. His dancing as well, oh my gosh, like everybody's dancing, like David's dancing, like Mike's dancing, oh my gosh, they both did so well. The Jets and the Sharks, both groups, they brought so much to the play, and all the performances were brilliant. I will say, when Chino walked through the door, I was actually hoping, because Chino was actually pretty good looking in the original film, in this one I really hope Chino is really nerdy, and he came in and I was just like, this is who I hoped Chino would be. So the casting for Chino I thought was really good. Josh, who played Chino, brilliant. He played Chino really well. Gave him some real depth and development that Chino doesn't necessarily have. Which brings me on to my next point. There was a lot of explanations and a lot of backstory that we didn't have to the original musical or the original film, and they gave it to us in this musical. I mean, you got Maria and Bernardo's last names. You got the fact that Bernardo is a boxer and that's his profession. You've got so many different backstories that I don't think were as fleshed out in the original film or in the musical. So to see it like being brought even more to life, and more aspects and more facts like brought to us in this new adaptation, was brilliant. The brilliant Rita Moreno as Valentina. Bringing Rita Moreno on as Doc's widow was a really smart decision, and it brought so much more depth to this story that wasn't there, because obviously Doc was a Caucasian, but to have Valentina be Doc's widow and be a Puerto Rican woman who married a Caucasian man, kind of be the premise of what the success story is, I guess, of a Puerto Rican and a Caucasian in that time, and seeing Tony and Maria be the new generation, looking up to them and seeing that they could do it so they can be in a relationship as well, and having Rita Moreno be the voice of reason in this film and have her singing Somewhere got me right in the feels. Oh my gosh. The scene where Anita is assaulted by the Jets and having the girls, the Jet girls, trying to help her and then be locked out and begging for the men not to hurt her, and to have then Rita Moreno, who was originally Anita, come up and break it all up. That scene hits so much more in this version than it did in the original version. The gravity of the situation and the scene, I think, definitely hit more in this version of West Side Story, because I think even though it's a tough scene to watch in the original film, I think I've always felt some type of disconnect in there, and it never actually clicked with me that the men were not just teasing her but going as far to assaulting her. But with this version, it really, for me, the gravity of the situation was definitely there, especially when Rita Moreno as Valentina comes up to break it up, and seeing her exchange with Ariana DeBose was heartbreaking. It was like you wanted to reach through that screen and just pull those men off of her and help her, and it was, I think, to have that gut reaction shows that this movie was taken to a whole nother level. I think in general, like, this film had so much more depth and gravitas than I felt compared to the original, and I really feel that the realism was there thanks to the casting and thanks to the amazing performances. You believed these stories. It's not that I do not like the original film at all. I love the original film. It's got the original choreography by Jerome Robbins. It's got brilliant performances. I feel like this movie, this adaptation, just edges it out just a little bit for me. I'm gonna be one of those people who actually likes the new adaptation better than the original, because I feel like I believe the performances more. I believe this version of the story more. I believe the gravitas of the situation. I believe that the stakes were really high, and I believe that these men are literally fighting for their lives. Honestly, it's one of the best movie musicals that I have ever seen in my life. Yeah, I was sobbing my way through the whole of the second act, but it was just done so brilliantly. If this film does not get any Oscar nods whatsoever, I'm going to be so freaking mad. It deserves all the awards because it was just done so brilliantly, and so many people did such brilliant performances. I just thank Steven Spielberg for actually taking the time to make this film and do the casting that he did, getting performers that could really truly portray these roles, and it was just done brilliantly. Now, this is just my opinion. A lot of people are going to have different opinions on this film. A lot of people are going to love the original better. I just want to say that this is musical theater. Everybody has their own opinion, and it's okay to have your own opinion, whether they match mine or whether they don't, whether you think the complete opposite of me and you actually hated the film and you really just love the original. That's okay. Everybody's opinions are okay. There's not just one that's right and one that's wrong. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and these just happen to be my own. Well, that's it for this video, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this vlog and for this film reaction and review for the new West Side Story. As always, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, join the familia, and click the notification bell so that you can see more videos coming your way. That's it for now. I'll see you in my next video. Ciao, everyone.